We're now going to learn how to hold the bow. Before we do that, let's just try to understand there are four main parts to this bow. The first is what we call the shaft. That's this rod stick. This here is called the grip. So this part here is the grip. It's also called the frog. We will refer to it as the grip. Then we have this part here, which is the tip. And last but not least, we have the hair itself. With a lot of Dilruba bows, with a lot of your bows, you are able to tighten them and loosen them from here. So suppose that's the fifth part of the bow. You don't have this on every bow. Some very traditional Indian bows don't have this. To tighten them, you have to loosen the strings, pull it, tighten it. They only have four parts, but this bow here has a rod that we can use to tighten it. And the way to tell that it's tight enough, you just bounce it on your hand and it just bounces straight back up. Okay, it's very easy. As time progresses, you get to tell the different parts of, you get to tell whether a bow is tight enough. I'm going to show you another bow. This is a more traditional bow. What we have here is a German bow. It's actually a double bass bow with a wide grip. This is a bow that might typically arrive with the instrument. Again, it has the same 5 parts in this case. There's the screwing bolt, the grip, the shaft, the hair, the tip. I don't have a traditional bow to show you, but again, it has very similar parts. So that's the bow. Those are the different parts of the bow. There are 6 parts to this lesson. The first part is just knowing the different parts of the bow. The second part now is learning how to hold the bow. So part first, number 2, this area here in your hand is called the thenar web space. That the grip sits inside there. Okay, sits inside the thenar web space. Number 3, there isn't then a standard grip in terms of how you hold it. Okay, people have different preferences. Different schools suggest slightly different mechanisms, methods. But what I advise is that, so you've got your grip sitting in the thenar web space, run your 2 fingers across here like that, almost like a gun. Yeah, run them across there. Put your other 2 fingers in there. And when you do that, the hand will naturally just kind of go into this kind of position. Yeah, so we start there and we come around and it kind of just turns itself around a bit. It's not quite parallel. The 2 fingers are not quite parallel. They just turn very slightly. Number 4, the 3rd and 4th fingers then sit inside the grip. They sit inside the grip. Okay, so now we've got our hand position. I'll just turn it over for you to have a look. And now what I want you to do is, so we've got the basic hand position, and you will steadily experiment a bit with this. Don't go too far off this hand position, and just get comfortable with the bow. Okay? When we hold this, the secret really is that you mustn't be gripping the bow. There must be no tension in the hand whatsoever. Loose hand. Okay? Loose hand, no tension. You want a very loose hand when you hold that bow. Okay. Number 5. Now we're holding the bow. There's 2 things we now want to do. What we're going to find is, first of all, you haven't really used the muscles in your hand and your wrist that you're now going to start using to hold the bow. These are muscles that we rarely use, and we're going to develop them over time. They're going to develop quite naturally. But what I always ask students to do is, once you're holding the bow, just do this little exercise where you're pushing the bow up and down with your first and second finger. Okay, that's number 5. Just push the bow up and down with the first and second finger, just to give you a bit of exercise, just to make your right hand feel very comfortable with the bow. And then finally, practice this little exercise as well. Get your left hand out, put your bow on top of your left hand, and push, pull, push, pull. No elbow involved. This is purely fingers. Purely fingers. No elbow. Barely any wrist involved. Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Practice that, right? And the purpose of these exercises is just to kind of give you some dexterity, just to make you feel comfortable with holding this bow.